Welcome back everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is our game playthrough of Resident Evil 2, the board game. It's Season 2, it's our setup game, so welcome, and gonna get into our second playthrough of Resident Evil. We did do a tutorial playthrough that you guys can go check out, where we just play through the rule book has a tutorial that allows us to just get familiar with the pieces and the mechanics. Now we're going to move into the first proper game of the scenario book. So I've got the scenario book here, and I've gone ahead and started the initial setup, but I'll walk you guys through all the setup that I've got. So here's the initial scenario book. As you guys know, it's horror month and Dune month as well. So this is one of our outlier games. This is not along the S.T.A.R. theme, but we're playing a lot of games with the yellow sign in S.T.A.R. and talking about Pontos Fathom Press's Hermeticism of S.T.A.R., companion to Necromancy of Nyarlathotep. These are a trilogy that follows August Moldenhauer's Katu Journals trilogy. They kind of work as non-fiction fiction, if you can imagine that. So the idea here is Hermeticism, the pastoral, and the yellow sign, and how that something odd about the pastorals and how the yellow sign is on the other side. And I think this book really goes into that. And we'll be playing S.T.A.R., of course, in Eldritch Horror, Cthulhu Death May Die, so you can go check those videos out as well as Dune Revenant. Check out the links, support us. Appreciate that. Let's get into Season 2 of Resident Evil. So first off, we're going to be playing the first scenario here in, it's called Scenario Brief 2A, the S.T.A.R.S office. All right, so we'll be setting this one up, and I'll walk everyone through it. But I wanted to read this flavoring text here because it's pretty cool. It says, the scenario book. The skyline of Raccoon City stands silhouetted against the night sky. Foreboding towers rise above dirty city streets. Eerie quiet dominates, and the only movement is that caused by wind unsettling the detritus strewn over the ground. Flickering lights illuminate the places where the ravages of fires have yet to reach, casting their surroundings into a deathly pallor. So we're going to go right into the S.T.A.R.S office, where it says, there's a little flavoring text here. It says, with eerily quiet halls, it seems the Raccoon City Police Department won't be the sanctuary you once hoped for. The streets outside are overrun, so your only choice is to explore deeper within the RPD building and trying to meet up with any other survivors. With the hesitant steps, the search begins. This scenario has the characters finding the S.T.A.R.S key and making their ways to the S.T.A.R.S office on the second floor. The players successfully complete the scenario if all characters are on the tiled mark as S.T.A.R.S office and there are no enemies in the scene. And it takes place inside the Raccoon City Police Department. So as you can see the board setup here, I've gone ahead and already preset that up for us. So let's kind of walk through that, and I'll show you the highlights of it, and also the characters we're going to play and different components here. So move this over to here. Okay, so first off, I was just wondering with Resident Evil 2, I mean, maybe I don't have an expansion or something, but it says that the tiles are yellow tiles, green tiles, and red tiles. I guess you have to use the scenario book the whole time to know which tiles are which, because all my tiles just have a red border. Guys, let me know in the comments if you play this game and you have some different colored tiles. Maybe I'm missing out on something, but wasn't really clear on that, but appreciate the shout out below. Okay, so first off, in the setup of the game, the S.T.A.R.S office is right here. It's the safe haven, but you can see it's locked by the spade key. And then we're going to set up a number of card decks. So we have starting items of handgun, knife, and first aid spray. And we're going to play characters of Leon Kennedy, and Claire Redfield. So Claire is going to start out up in this location, which we have here on the second floor. I put the second floor at the top. And then Leon is going to start down here in the first floor. And you can see their character cards here. So we'll basically just put Leon and Claire, and also give them a heart token on the track, and give each of them a handgun with setup of 15 rounds on their handgun. So Leon and Claire will both get a handgun with a setup of 15. Next set is the tension deck. So again, the green, the colors in the area correspond to the colors for the cards. So you've got yellow cards, which are yellow tiles, which basically would be this tile, and this tile are yellow on the second floor, sorry, the first floor. And then these two are amber tiles. And again, upstairs, this tile and this tile is yellow, and this one is amber. The rest would be green. So those would correspond to different scenarios that come up in the decks. We also have, not in this game, but some games will have a red tile that are extremely dangerous, as you see in the rule book here. But now, when we make our tension deck, that follows a similar kind of process, where we have a yellow tile table and an amber tile table, right? And those will give us a different die roll. We have to do a different reaction for. So if we're in a yellow space, we'll have to roll against that table. And then also, some of the actions we take are in these tension cards. So as you can see, a number of tension cards are simply all clears. And they, these cards also have a little bit of flavoring text, just to kind of get the mood creepy. All right, so but additionally, for the setup of this one, so we start out with 30 green cards for the tension deck. We start out with 6 amber cards with prehensile grasps, echoes in the dark, and no escape. So we've got those cards. Now these have some actions that will mess with us. And then there's finally these red cards. So we get 2 red cards, Ambush the Dead and Blood Curdling Hell, which will spawn creatures. And then we also have these sort of umbrella spawn tokens. This tension deck then just gets created by shuffling these together, and then we have a random, sort of like an AI mechanism when the surprise is going to come, right? So we shuffle these up pretty well, and this is going to be our jump scares, basically, are controlled by this deck. So we'll keep shuffling that. I'll give this a number of shuffles throughout the time, and I'll place it over here on the side. Then we also have some supply decks. So I've already pre-prepared them. So we have A cards, and these are items that we can pick up along the places where there's an A token, which are indicated by this white lens flare, this white glow. So all those white ones are places that we can pick up either a spade key, herbs, or handgun bullets, right? So among these, again, randomizing this, we have to hunt and search through this RPD police department, looking for that key that's going to ultimately unlock unlock the spade key, which is on the, do I have that set up right? Spade key. Yeah, spade key unlocks the ground floor office, which has 2 places to get a B deck. Here you have the B deck. The B deck has the S.T.A.R.S key, which is up on the second floor, a locked office, which is where we have to end up. So we actually have to end up in this one. I think I said this one last time. Both of our characters have to end up in this. It's a green space, and it says S.T.A.R.S office, locked by the S.T.A.R.S key. But our chances to get the S.T.A.R.S key are on the first floor. So Leon can start the quest starting here, but Claire, she starts up on the second floor. So she just has to either come join up with Leon or stay alive and clear it so that when he comes up, he can make a beeline for it. Okay, so we'll shuffle these up as well, and we'll put these in for the B deck. Next up, there is a so we've set handgun and knife up for each of them. We've got their settings here. So let's go through the character placement. So we've already mentioned Leon and Claire starting in those spaces. The zombies also have been set up similarly. So you can see the zombie placement and the walls. So we've got normal doors, and we have zombie placed at the bottom of the stairwell on the first floor. An item A down this little mini hallway with a door in the storage closet. We've got another zombie placed here, and we do have a liquor that's down this way. One thing that's interesting about the rules, I was just kind of getting into the detail of Resident Evil 2 game mechanics. We did play through this scenario last time, but one of the mechanics that I think is I missed last time was that the squares have some definite key moves. So you have standard models, large models, and huge models. The standard models can actually fit 4 on a square. So I think the character placement then is quite important. For example, this one is placed in this corner of this square, and this one is also placed in this corner. Leon starts in this corner. That's because actually we could have a scenario, let's just play it out with Claire here, where you have a zombie here, a zombie here, a zombie here, and Claire here. Something like this, where it's really, that's a possible scenario. And that really gives you the panic of how these encounters could get to, where you're stuffed in like this, right? And then also there's this frightful situation of if you were in this situation with this liquor here, right? That's a situation you can be into, which also seems quite frightening, right? So we'll kind of set these back up the way they were. And yeah, I think that's the point I wanted to sort of call out, is that it's pretty frightening. So these guys are both in this space, and this guy's just kind of lumbering around in the back hall here. Okay, so other details. The monsters that spawn from this are either zombies. You can get 2, if you roll 2s or 3s, you'll get, in the amber tiles, you'll get 2 zombies spawned at the spawn points. So you see these are the various spawn points. So if you're in a room, you're in an amber or a yellow room, you make a roll, you come up with these spawn zombies, you'll have zombies spawning at these spawn points, depending on, there's a spawn point in each of the rooms. So that also throws you off. It's like sort of the zombie jumping out of the dark kind of vibe. So yeah, it's kind of fun to play. The other thing about Resident Evil 2 is gameplay is very fast. So usually in my games, I break them up by turns. With Resident Evil, the turn round can be quite quick, where it's usually just make your moves, get through the turn and just a few moments go by to set everything up. Then it's the next turn. Then it's the next turn. So what I usually do is I'll bunch, into the similar amount of gameplay time, a number of turns, and then we go into the next episode, right? So we'll have, so the breakdown for Resident Evil, the board game, Season 2 is maybe 4-5 rounds of play for each episode, and then we kind of break it out so you guys don't have to sit through hours and hours of it. I mean, if you like sitting through hours and hours of them, as I produce, you definitely can go watch the playlist. So it just makes it an easier format for uploads and whatever. So yeah, so that's what we do. So yeah, I think we're pretty much set up here, and let's get into turn one. The link should be over here somewhere, and leave a comment below. Check out the links I mentioned, and we'll see you on turn one. Thanks a lot.